What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Boykin Outdoors. On today's video, we're going to be talking about how we get started hunting. And what this means is we're going to talk about a little bit like what the steps are to get your hunting license, and here in North Carolina and some other places, how to get your duck stamp and all that kind of stuff. And then like maybe a few little tips on how you can kind of get your basic starter pack to get actually started hunting. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start with kind of where you have to start to get your basic hunting license that will work for anything you're hunting for the most part, like deer, ducks, turkey, dove, whatever you're hunting. So the first thing you're going to do is, in the state of North Carolina, they require you to do a safety course. So you go online and you need to type in the Hunter Safety Course North Carolina and do that. That is, it used to be when I was doing it, it was like 3 or 4 hours on the computer, and then there was a 4-hour in-person field day. You actually had to go hold the guns, show them that you know how to handle the guns, and take like a quick, can't remember how many question test it was, 50 maybe, but super easy if you actually do the thing and study. It's like pretty much basic stuff. So you got to do that. But now I think with COVID, ever since after COVID, you can go online and do the hunter safety course, and you can take the whole course and your exam, and everything's online, and you can actually get your hunter safety course without having to actually go to a field day. Now that may have changed now, but that's the way it was not long ago. Once you get your hunter safety course, you will then be able to go buy a hunting license in the state of North Carolina. And it may be the same for other states. You just kind of have to research it and look into it. But then after you go, you have to go buy your hunting license. And for us here in North Carolina, if you're fishing like we are, we're doing offshore fishing, inshore fishing, and we're also doing kind of the inshore, in-state fishing, kind of like in ponds and lakes occasionally. And then we're also hunting statewide. So we get what I get, and what a bunch of my buddies get, is what they call the Unified Sportsman License. And that covers all the fishing and all of the hunting. So those are those licenses. I suggest that if you're hunting and fishing, but they do sell only hunting license and they do sell only fishing license depending on what you're doing. The costs kind of vary. Now the Sportsman's, this year I think I paid $68 or $69 plus a $2 processing fee. It was like $70, $71 or something like that. Somewhere in the $70 range. And then you'll have your hunter safety course and your hunting license, and that will come with the Big Game Harvest Report card, and you want to get your HIP certification. The HIP certification sounds like something you need to take a class on, but it's not. It's just a free thing. It's a way it's a way for the state to be able to track who's hunting migratory game birds, I believe is what it's for. It's free, goes on the license, and it'll be right up underneath your Unified Sportsman on the actual license card that they send you in the mail. So once you get that, then you'll need to get your federal duck stamp, which this year I think they were 25 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that, 25, 30. I really can't remember, because when I buy my license, I'll buy it all at the same time, and it's one price. My one price to get the license and the HIP certifications and the duck stamp is right around $100 a year for the annual license. They do have some lifetime license stuff you can do that are more expensive depending on your age. So if you're going to be a lifetime hunter, fisherman, it might be something to look into, get your lifetime license. I've been looking into it. Can't really afford it right now at this moment, but I do plan to get my lifetime license, because I think it's like 500 bucks, 600 bucks. So 5-6 years, it'll pay for itself in the future. But that might be an option you want to look into. So once you get you will have your hunter safety course. You use your hunter safety course to get your hunting license, and that comes with a HIP certification and your Big Game Harvest Report card. You will then need to buy your federal duck stamp online. This can all be done online after you get your hunter safety course, if you don't have to go in person. If you don't have to go in person, like I said, it's all online. If you have to go in person, that's for the hunter safety course only. You can also buy the license in person at your local hunting stores. I think Walmart stuff sells them, although I would not suggest that. I've had some pretty rough experiences buying my license from Walmart. Last minute, forgot to buy this. I go in there and then someone doesn't know how to do it, kind of thing. So I suggest just going to like an actual hunting store, like a Sportsman Warehouse. Academy Sports was pretty good the one time I worked with them, or any of your local hunting stores that may, hunting or fishing stores that may sell your state license. So that's all it is to get started in North Carolina state, in the state of North Carolina, as far as licensing goes. that kind of thing. But you do want to be careful because depending on where you're hunting, I know further up north in the Outer Banks and certain game land and stuff, they do require you to buy a game land waterfowl license or something like that. I don't have to deal with all that, the areas I hunt, but you just want to make sure that when you get into the licensing and stuff that you look into that and make sure that you're not hunting on property that requires that. Or they also sell a lot of permit hunts with hunting. This is for deer hunting, turkey hunting, duck hunting, all sorts of hunting. There's certain areas you got public land, you want to make sure that they're not permit hunt only areas. And then if you're just getting started in the waterfowl, you want to read about some of the waterfowl species, because certain species have certain dates that they're open. Like black duck opens later than, like the regular duck season will come in and then black duck opens like November 18th or something like that. It kind of varies year by year, I believe. So that's a little later. And then like your swans, if for some reason you're seeing swans, they have permits that you have to buy for one of those, or I think you have to apply for them or something. So be very careful about what species you're shooting. If they're not included in the general duck season, this is where your research, depending on where your hunting comes into play. So just do your research on your area, call your local game wardens, call the local wildlife commissions and stuff like that. They can help you out with this. This was more for like the North Carolina people. But after you get your license, you're ready to rock and roll. Once you're officially legal and able to go, then really all you need to get started hunting to go on your first duck hunting adventure is you're going to need your shotgun of some sort. You're going to need maybe some decoys, just depending. You may not need decoys if you got an area where ducks are coming in. A half dozen will work to get you started. You're going to want more in the future, but this is just a good start. And then you're going to need shotgun shells, and this is where it starts getting into kind of some more laws that you want to watch out for. So to hunt waterfowl, you're required to shoot at least steel shot. You can't shoot what they would consider lead or brass loads. So make sure the box of shells that you pick up, you clearly see stated on the box, and check the shells that you're shooting that says steel shot, because that is a ticket if they catch you hunting without steel shot. Or I think you can shoot shoot tungsten, or like the Boss shot shells and stuff, or like different metals. But there are certain metals you have to shoot. Steel is the most common, so we'll just talk about that. So make sure you're shooting at least steel shot or one of those other legal shotgun shell metals that you're allowed to shoot. Do not shoot lead or brass. So there's that for as far as that goes. So you got your shotgun, you got your decoys, and you got your shells. You may want to find areas to start if you can't afford a kayak or a boat, or you don't already have one of those. You may want to find areas that you can walk into. There's local impoundments on public land and stuff, things like that you can go into, and you can just put, if you don't have waders, you can stand on the side and hunt. Make sure you have a way to go retrieve your bird. If you're not willing to walk through the water, I probably wouldn't shoot it. Or if you're going to get into hunting in areas like that, you really need a set of waders, even if it's a cheap set of hip boots. Buy you some hip boots and be able to go get your bird and walk out. If you got a kayak, you can paddle into some of these places, and some of these places are even big enough you can run a boat. But you want to go back in and check those laws on those impoundments, like I was saying, to make sure you don't have to have a permit to hunt it. Make sure they don't have any weird rules. Make sure they're allowed. Boats are allowed in there, whether that be a kayak is considered a boat, or a actual motor boat with an outboard, mud motor, whatever it is you're running, surface drive. Make sure that's legal. Some places are walk-in only hunts and stuff like that, so just look out for those things would be my suggestion. And that's pretty much all you need to get into it. You don't really need calls in our area as much, because most of the birds are call shy anyway. And if you're new to it and you're probably watching this video, you're a beginner, which is perfectly fine. Love to have you here. I'm glad you're here, because we're kind of doing some duck hunt how-to videos, and this is a good start for you to kind of get into things. But yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll try to answer whatever questions you may leave below. Depending on, I know a lot about North Carolina areas, but when you get outside North Carolina, I could probably try to help you, maybe do some research and find it, but you're probably best off if you're outside North Carolina and you have like a serious question that requires like an actual like black and white statement that I can hunt this. you probably want to talk to your local game ward and get on. They have all their phone numbers are listed on the Wildlife Resource Commission website. They're every dude I've ever talked to, whether for us in our areas, they are all super great dudes, and they're willing to help you and they want to help you. Also, they're another good resource if you don't know where to get started hunting, if you're not in North Carolina or something like that, or even if you are in North Carolina and you're trying to figure out where you might want to get started hunting. You need some areas that will be good and actually holds ducks. Talk to those guys. Those dudes are, I'm telling you, they're there to help you. They're on your team. I know sometimes they get a bad rap. Oh, they stopped me and gave me a ticket for this. Well, yeah, you probably deserved it. Hate to be frank with you, but that's typically what it is. You didn't have a life jacket, you get a ticket. That's just how it works. It sucks, but it is. But overall, they're there to help you. You need to respect those guys while you're out there. If they stop you, treat them with the utmost respect, because at the end of the day, they're the only thing standing between someone poaching animals, whether it be off your private land, on public land, doing illegal things, hurting these birds. They're there to conserve the resource. So treat them with utmost respect. Happy hunting. Hope y'all kill a bunch this year. If you got any questions, leave them below. Keep watching. We got some more videos coming out for the basic how-to for beginners, and even some of the more experienced hunters that are out there that may have questions, or maybe you're just looking to get your fix of content of duck hunting. Just watch our videos, man. We'll try to keep you going. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we appreciate your support as always. And we'll catch you on another video of Boykin Outdoors. Thank y'all.